Hi guys, Matt from the Big River here. We got an order to unbox this week. It is going to be a split order this week because we got another delay, but that's all right. I'm sure we'll get some cool stuff no matter how long it takes to get here. First thing out of the box is actually not fish. This is snails. We got a whole batch of mystery snails this week. Those are the blues. Haven't had any of the fancy colors in a while, so I went ahead and popped for some. These look like nearite snails. Restock on those as well. What else do we got for snails? Here is some more snails. You want snails? We got snails. I think these are the magenta ones, or these are the jade ones. I got one of the really cool colors. More snails, more snails, more snails. We're sliming in to, gosh, almost Valentine's Day. Can you believe it? Year's only started and yet it's ripping by. Here we got zebra nearites, so more nearites up and down the scale. And even more mystery snails. These ones I think are going to be blacks. Let's see. Yes, indeed. Those are black nearites. Nearites, no. Black mystery snails. Or purple if you prefer. All right, next up is some feeder guppies. Got to have them. And here's a nice little bag of them. Looks like most of them are actually alive, at least for now. Frogs. Haven't had any frogs for a couple days, so we got in some. These are the albinos. Should have some regular ones coming with the next group. Glowfish. Ran out of these guys the other day, so got some more. These are the glowfish danios, bright colors. Why wouldn't you want a whole bunch of bright danios running around in your tank? Guppies. Got a little variety of guppies this week. Been hard to get, so went to a secondary supplier. Let's see how they did. Those are some nice red tails. I see somebody didn't make the trip in here. A couple of them didn't, so it looks like they're going to need some work, but we got a couple more cool looking guppies in there. And more guppies. I haven't had these in a long time. These are luminescent ones, or these are the swordtails. These look like they're purple luminescent. Admittedly, these guys are always a little bit harder work for us to get them ready for sale. They kind of come in a little smutty, but they're so pretty. Sometimes it's worth it. What are you guys? Oh, sorry. There it is. Oh, these are those swordtail guppies, and they're really tiny. They're really cute. Japanese swordtails. When I get those about twice this size, they're really a handsome-looking guppy. They're very much an Endler cross. Very cool guppy. Here is another bag of guppies. Some of those feeder guppies are bigger than those swordtails, but you know, what can you do? And a whole bag full of electric blue rams. Restocking those guys. Haven't had those guys for a little while, so happy to be able to offer some electric blue rams. Electric blues are a little bit sensitive, and rams are a little bit sensitive, so add the two together, and you got to watch those guys for ick. But if you can get them going, it's so worth the work. Very, very beautiful, cool fish. All right, one more box here. Let's see what comes out of the box. You know, the one thing that I'm not getting is the thing that I promised somebody. But these guys did get here. These are our feeder comets. I'd ordered in some red-top topayos, which are an earth eater, and they did not make the trip. But do have some really cool big Orandas. These are extra large red cap Orandas. Said 4.5 inches. I'm going to go with not quite that big, but nice size red cap Orandas. A lot of shrimp on this order. These are extra large Amano shrimp. Okay, maybe a little larger than large Amano shrimp, not quite extra large, much nicer than the tiny ones we had been getting. Here are some cherry shrimp. Looks like the grade on that is not fantastic, but we got a whole lot of them, so there's cherry shrimp for you. And here is more Amano shrimp, a whole bunch of itty bitty regular sized shrimp. Able to offer those for $3 for the small shrimp now. And there was a point where we had to double the price on the Amanos, or we couldn't get them and they were double price. Here's something that we actually were able to go down on also. These are red crystal shrimp. Grade on these is not bad, better than some we've gotten recently. And they are red and they are crystal, and they're a little bit cheaper than we've been charging, so fantastic that. More shrimp. These are really shrimp, and here we go with all the really shrimp jokes, because that's really all I do when I get really shrimp is make really bad jokes about really shrimp, because that's what I do. Here is Black crystals. These guys have been rare as hen's teeth. I got in a batch that were not all that great a grade and didn't hold up. Do have a couple of them over there, but actually was able to get these and go down on price on those just a little bit also. So happy that it seems like the desert of black crystal shrimp is over. Here's another type of shrimp. These are ghost shrimp. Restocking on those guys. Got to. We've got a brackish water eel over there that eats these things like they're going out of style, so we got to make sure we've doubled up our stock on ghost shrimp. Very, very cool eel. Very hungry. Here are some Bloody Mary shrimp. Bloody Marys have been awfully popular this year, and why not? They're gorgeous shrimp. Bright red, but they're not red from the outside shell. They're red from the inside out, is what they tell me. I've never dissected one to make sure they're not lying. Last thing out of this box is blue shrimp. A nice batch of bright blue shrimp. Gotta have them. I think they've graded these velvets, but I don't know. I call them all blue shrimp, even though there's a lot of different grades. And we'll be right back with more. And we're back. Let's finish up this shipment here, see what we got. This got delayed a little bit, so some of these guys were probably going to be a little cold. Let's see. These are some royal blue dwarf gouramis. Look a little bit cold, but for the most part, they look like they're going to come back. Give them a little bit of time to warm up. They should be all right. Next up is a pleco that does not look like he's feeling very good. Then we have some Phoenix rasboras. They don't mind a little bit of cold. They look plenty fine in there. Phoenix rasboras, again, those micro rasboras. Here's a little baby monster. This is a baby silver arowana. Looks like he made the trip okay. Next would be some great jumpers. These are clown killies. Clown killies are one of the best jumpers I know. Whoops, see, all the killies are actually pretty good jumpers, but these guys are fantastic at it and bright colored. Next up is another pleco. I don't think he made the trip. Plecos really don't like the cold. These are Johnstonii placidochromis. They're a little bit cold, but they're going to come back. They'll be fine. These are a little different version of a placidochromis. We got some of the white lips there. I don't think I've ever had the Johnstonii, so that's kind of cool. That's a black ghost knife. I don't think he made the trip. Here are some cories. Cories don't mind a little cold water as long as they don't go low on oxygen. These are the Axelrod's cories. Very cute little guy. Got to be closely related to the bandits. Don't get them that often, but I like them. Here's some more cories. These are the little Habrosus dwarf cories. Looks like most of those guys did pretty good. So fantastic for that. There's a black ghost knife that did make the trip. And here's some more of those little barras or micro rasboras. These are chilies. Sold out of those last week, so we had to get some more. So that's that order, or that box for that order. Let's grab the next box, see how they did. All right. Every time we get a delayed order, it's a little extra craziness because we got to see who we can save and see who's not going to make it, and then there's credits to deal with. Here's some Pseudotropheus colifi, the blue version, not the albino version. They're an African cichlid, obviously, and it looks like they're going to warm up okay. Those guys don't look good. Those guys don't look good. Let's check these guys out. They don't mind usually don't mind the cold, but yeah, they're not going to do all that great either. Those are Singapore shrimp. They might warm up. We'll see. And nope. Here's some African, no, these are cockatoo cichlids. These are the super reds. Again, they look a little cold. Hopefully they'll do okay. I'm not so sure. That is fine. That's a half moon candy. Beautiful guy, beautiful betta. Those guys are toast. Those guys are toast. Yep, that box got extra cold. So I'm gonna say most everything on that box did not make it. And that's the truth of the risks we take when we ship fish. When we ship fish in, typically we get a shipment 50, 51 weeks a year, and almost every time they come in on time and in good shape. But the possibility is always out there of a disaster, and this certainly was not our best shipment. Here's some red and white ranchus. They're cold water fish. They ought to take this just fine. Actually, a cold like this keeps them from getting too dirty on the way. So you can see they're still pretty dirty. Next up, we got Some autos. Autos don't mind a little bit of cold. Come in a little bit small, but look like they did okay. A couple of them doing backstroke, but most of those guys will be all right. Here's some bettas. Bettas usually ship okay even in the cold. These are female. Those are the candies. Those are koi females. Got koi females and half moon candies. Hopefully both of them did okay on this trip. Those guys did not. You guys, yeah, those guys are okay. These are the reticulated hillstream loaches. Came in really small. I don't normally get them this small, but very cute. Reticulated hillstream loaches, and they like cold water anyway. And here's those other bettas. These are those half moon females. They'll probably watch them for ick for the first day or two, just to make sure they don't go down, and they'll probably do just fine for us. That's that box. One more box to go. We'll see how they did, and that'll be this week's order. Let's see. We have pearl grammies, large ones, and they look fine. Beautiful, gorgeous big pearl grammies. Nicer than the last 3 batches of those we got, so that's fantastic. These are the Kohaku Madaka rice fish, and they like cold water also. I always watch these guys for ick from changing temperatures, but they actually are cold water fish. Some African cichlids that look like they might warm up, might not. These are rose lions. Looks like most of them actually made the trip. One of them didn't. They really don't like the cold, so we'll warm these guys up good and slow. Most of them made it, looks like. Here's some clown plecos. They may or may not warm up. Looks like some of them made the trip anyway. And who's this? This is a hillstream loach. This is a guy I haven't had before, something cool. These are zebra hillstream loaches. And really cool fish, actually. I haven't never had those before, so I'm on a list, tried them out. Should be a cold water fish. Obviously, they took the cold trip just fine, so very cool. All right, that's it for this week.